Hey guys, it's Krishanti with Krishanti.com, and I learned how to be psychic and intuitive, so I talk all about intuitive development, psychic development, and personal and spiritual growth. And today I'm going to cover a common block to psychic abilities, to growing and enhancing and expanding your psychic abilities. And that block is all about the fear of knowing too much. And you know, there's a myth about Icarus, whose father made these wings, and he gave a pair to Icarus, and there's like wax. I think it was like wax that held it all together, and they're gorgeous wings. And he was like, "Yay, I'm flying." A little more beautifully said than that. And he flew. He's like, "I want to get up to the sun," and he flew up to the sun. He flew so close to the sun that it melted the wax, and he came crashing down to the earth. And that's a metaphor for what can happen if you step out of your little comfortable, safe bubble and open up to the world of possibilities and what you can know. And throughout the ages of humanity, there have been measures in place to keep people from going too high, from stepping out of their bounds, from like being too powerful. So if you're like on the verge of something, or you sit down to try to do a reading, or you follow a meditation, you're like, I know I can do this, and you just can't, you likely have a block to like how much you can know. And people don't often talk about this. But it's not just about the whole power thing too. It's also like, well, if you know something, you have these tools right here, then you really have to step up to the plate and use them. And that's tricky for a lot of people. And I'm not saying I'm any different. I purchased a workshop last year by a guy named Bill Bengston, who I heard speak at a conference I went to last year, and the guy is curing cancer. Scientifically proven in mice. And I'm like, cool, I want to learn how to do this technique. So I got halfway through, and then I stopped. I started it in like January, and I haven't done it. And I'm very well aware of like the fact that I haven't finished listening to Bill's workshop thing and done the techniques, because I'm thinking, well, if I can cure cancer, like WTF, you know, and like the responsibility of that, like the weight of that, that's like huge. And I'm one of these people, you may be like, oh no, that's not possible, whatever, that's fine, you're entitled to your belief system, and I honor and respect what you believe. But I'm the kind of person that believes like there are so many possibilities, and I fully believe that this is possible. And in fact, it's to the point where I'm one of these, because he says he needs you to be totally neutral for it to work, which makes sense, right? So I'm already setting it up where I'm like, it has to work to where I might make it not work. And then I'll be like, oh, well, couldn't do that. Or his method, I guess, didn't work, on to something else. For me, the cancer thing is huge, because my mom had it when she was pregnant with me. I was a miracle baby. And it went into remission and came back when I was 10. And then she died when I was 15. And I always had this feeling like I should have been able to help her. I prayed like crazy hard. And I just wish that my prayers had worked, and they didn't. If I knew the things I knew now, I'd take her to the ends of the earth, to any and every healer possible to get her fixed. And I'm remiss that I wasn't able to do that as a little kid. But that's my whole thing. But I wanted to tell you that story so that you can think about why people might not want to be psychic, or might be afraid of the whole psychic thing. They're afraid that you'll see something that's scary, or you'll tell them something, and then with the knowledge that they have, they then, you know, with this great knowledge comes a great responsibility. So if you know you have this infinite power to do something, or that something's not working, or something's uncomfortable, then, you kind of owe it to yourself to work on that. Or, you know what I'm saying? So it's really, it's a challenging thing. But I would say with this whole psychic stuff, if you're afraid of like knowing too much, I would just try not to go there, and just try to keep it simple. Keep it as simple as possible, focusing on like how to get through the day, and how to make like nice decisions, and how to navigate the world. It's here for you as your psychic abilities basically is what I'm saying. Your abilities are here for you to help you navigate life, to help you evolve your spirit and grow. And you can do it very naturally and very simply. If you're not ready to tune in and find out that this huge thing has to happen, you can like kind of sidestep it. Like you can be like, okay, I'm going to take baby steps. Okay, well, maybe this thing has to happen, and then that has to happen. And through it all, you're transforming and you're healing and you're changing. And then when the big thing happens, it's actually not that big, because you've stepped up your vibration and you've altered your path, so that it's just a natural unfolding of what is for your highest good. And so when I'm talking about psychic and intuitive stuff, it's a little different than what other people might be talking about, because my methodology that I was trained in is all about spiritual growth. So it's not just like, I'm psychic and I can read your mind. Well, A, I wouldn't want to read your freaking mind, because that's an invasion of privacy. And B, there are many other more interesting things to look at than like what's in someone's mind. My whole thing is like, the thing I was trained in is about using, specifically with clairvoyance, using those pictures which are charged with energy to transform your body. Like, yeah, that too. Transform your thought process to evolve your whole thing. All of this, the whole shebang. So what I've learned, like when in my readings and healings, and in doing every time I work with somebody, every time I meditate, every time I go into prayer mode, clairvoyant mode, I'm working to understand my lessons, to heal my karma, to see my life from a higher perspective, to become a better person, a lighter person, a person with less like crap and like less like negativity all around. So if you go with that in mind, which is of course goes hand in hand with meditation and with higher power, if you think of your intuition and your psychic ability as something that's connecting to you to something greater than you, then that energy fuels you. And so you move through situations with more grace and ease. Life still has its challenges. Earth, as my guides say, is still a pain school, but you can kind of get through that without feeling so much agony. And I can say this with a level of authority because I have been through some of the darkest stuff that anyone can go through. I've seen death. I've lost loved ones. I've dealt with betrayal and with imprisonment. Well, like feeling imprisoned in like horrible jobs. You know, all of this stuff, and I'm working to just continually working with this spiritual stuff to just evolve and go through life with more grace and with more trust in the order of things. So I'm not just talking here like somebody who's had this blissful, charmed life, although it has been charmed in many, many ways. So I feel your pain, whatever you're going through. I work with people in their darkest moments, and so there's an understanding there that we are all going through things. A funny anecdote, well, not that funny, I guess. It's a little dark humor. A long time ago, when I was just starting out getting paid to do readings, a lady came and said that she was afraid she was going to die, like she had a fear she was going to die in a car accident. So here's one of those moments where you're doing a reading and you have access to like any kind of information, and here's something scary, like, am I going to die in a car accident? And one of my thoughts was, well, if I tell you you are or you're not, like, either way, like, let's say I tell you you're not, and then you do, well, you can't get mad at me and come back and tell me it was wrong because you won't be here. So you have to be funny about some of these things. And in this case, it was more about like not letting this fear take over and like just trusting that no matter what happens, you'll be okay. But you can know as much as you can allow yourself to know, and trust that some things will not be revealed. So don't worry, like, I'm afraid I'm gonna like know too much or like be too amazing, which I guess you would never really say that. I mean, it's come up as a subtle thing, but most of the people that I train and work with are too humble to say that, but I know it's there. It's one of those unspoken things. Nothing will be revealed to you that you're not ready to receive. And it's really can be very simple. If you do it all with the intention of everything being okay, or if it's not okay, at least you trusting that you're protected and looked out for, it really will be fine. So I feel like I'm rambling on, and I pretty much said what I needed to say about that. Sometimes, I'll just wrap up by saying though, sometimes if you just acknowledge that you have a problem or an issue regarding something, just bringing that to the surface. I mean, that's what chit chat therapy is about. Traditional psychotherapy is like you talk, you bring it up, and then you like work it out with words. Energy work is the same thing. Like you bring up the energy, you bring up this like, I'm afraid I'm going to know too much, and what am I going to do with this knowledge? And then you can like dissipate it and then take baby steps and move forward. So I love to talk about intuitive development and psychic development and spiritual growth. I've got a lot of stuff on my website, Krishanti.com. Also, if you like this video, please subscribe and hit the like button. And if there are things that you'd like me to cover, topics about clairvoyance, clairsentience, empathy, instant knowing, spiritual growth, karma, fate, anything like that, leave a comment or send me an email at ask@krishanti.com, and I'll be sure to make a video about it. So that's it for now, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.